Hey Randall. Hey Rattler Apparel. Okay, so I'm doing a live of questions that I typically get as Miss FAMU and a college student. I want to help high school students, freshmen, transfer students with any questions that they may have about, any questions that they may have about college life. I am a fourth year student, so I actually graduate on May 2nd at 9 a.m. with my Bachelor's of Science in Biology with a concentration in pre-medicine. I almost forgot for a second. So some of the questions that I received, I'll get started. One question was, how do I balance all of the clubs and orgs that I'm in while I have a hard major? So I have a planner. I plan everything out starting on Sunday, and then throughout the week I check everything off. I go by hourly rates. Not hourly rates, but I go hourly or I go daily. Sometimes I go weekly. So it just depends on what I have going on. I also, that's my Gotti. Hi, Gotti. I hold myself, thank you, Juwan. I hold myself accountable too. I have friends who hold me accountable. They make sure that I'm doing my work. My roommate, Ariana, she makes sure I do my work. She'll be like, come downstairs to the table and we'll sit with our other two friends and we'll stay up all night studying because I really don't have time to waste. I have 4 months until I graduate. So along with doing my work, I have to make sure I apply to grad school, make sure that those applications are tight. And I also am a student worker, so I work 20 hours a week. So my days go quickly because I have so much to do, but anything can be done. It's not hard. You just have to really want it, and anything in life that you do does not come easy if it's worth it. If it's too easy, it may not be worth it. Everything you do has a price. So the next question I got was, how did I know I wanted to be Miss FAMU? Actually, when I first got to FAMU, I didn't know I wanted to be Miss FAMU, actually. I just saw the Royal Court and I thought they were so amazing, and I was like, wow, I wanted to be like them. And then I started doing my research on what the Royal Court did. They recruited students, they were responsible for community service events, and I ran for Miss Sophomore first in the spring of my freshman year, so the spring of 2017. So that's when I had my first Royal Court experience. I actually didn't think I was going to win, but hey Jasmine, I did, and it was a great experience. I served on the Royal Court with Jordan Seeley and Marva Johnson, and it was a great experience. We actually did a week tour where we went from the top of Florida all the way down to Miami, and it was a week-long experience. It was amazing, and it showed me, wow, this is something I really wanted to do. And that's when I told my Royal Court family, hey, I think I want to run for Miss FAMU. And Serenity, I'll never forget, she was Miss Senior at the time. She was like, girl, you better run for Miss FAMU. It was an amazing experience. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom. My mama just joined my live. So yeah, what's a good method for studying for you? So I learned how to study in high school, but I had to adjust my study habits for my major. Hey everyone. I had to adjust my study habits for when I got to college. Yes, it was a little adjustment because the level of work for high school students is not the same for college students. So one thing I had to learn was I have to read in class and read when I get out of class, especially when you're taking classes like organic chemistry. That's a class I really struggle with, and I'm not afraid to say that. Like, I really struggled with. I was crying really bad over that class. Taking notes in class and rereading over those notes after class, making flashcards, going to tutoring. I'm actually a student who needs to go to tutoring, and I go to study sessions too because sometimes I just can't teach myself material. It just doesn't work like that. What else did I do to study? I had my friends quiz me. I will, Randall, I'll save it. I had my friends quiz me. Again, my best friend, Raven, she would be like, are you studying? Are you studying? Have an accountability partner. That's what I have. Oh, that's my sister. Have an accountability partner. I have several. My mom's one of my accountability partners. She'll be like, "Are you doing your homework?" And of course, I'm 21 now, so I'm kind of an adult, so I have to do it myself. Hey, Maya. But that's another way of making sure that my studying habits are working. Tell them why you chose FAMU. Okay, so most people know my mom and my dad went to FAMU. My dad was actually a biology major like myself, and my mom was an elementary education major, I'm pretty sure. And my whole life, my mom would always say, "You're going to FAMU, you're going to FAMU." Thank you. You're going to FAMU. And I would be like, "Mom, I'm not going to FAMU." And it's that I didn't want to go. She would just always tell me I was going. But as soon as I got to FAMU, she took me on a tour my junior year. And I was like, okay. No, it was my senior year. I was like, yeah, this is where I'm going to go. And FAMU offered me a scholarship. Dr. Hudson recruited me to FAMU in 2016 on January 13th. Dr. Hudson, that is my friend. I love him. He is the GOAT at FAMU. Please share with some ladies. Okay. I will make sure to do that, Miss Stephanie. Yes, so FAMU welcomed me with open arms. I had the best orientation leaders, thanks to Mr. Andre Green, who was then the director of orientation. He made sure that they made us feel welcomed, and I had an amazing experience. I met so many friends. I met the future godparents of my children, if I ever have any. You know about that. Hey sis, I have some amazing line sisters. I met some really amazing people at FAMU, and I'm so grateful for my experience. And if I had to do it all over again, I would go to FAMU all over again. It's an amazing experience, amazing education. I can honestly say I never had teachers who cared if I learned so much until I got to FAMU. My first two teachers, the first day of class, I had Dr. Lyles, my chemistry professor, and Dr. Wilder. I still talk to these professors till this day. They have made my FAMU experience so amazing. And I can't forget Dr. Scriven. She was my calculus professor, and she was my Impact Campus Ministry pastor. So yeah, I'm completely thankful for them. Another question I got was, what was the biggest adjustment I had to make when I got to college? So when I first got to school, I live 6 hours away from Tallahassee. I live at the bottom of Florida. So the biggest part was not having my mom there. My dad lives in Atlanta, but that's still 4 hours away, so I couldn't get home. And I was a little homesick at first. I didn't really tell my parents that, but I was very homesick. I didn't want to tell them that because they'd be like, "I told you so." Making friends. You wouldn't think that now because I'm a FAMU, but I had a lot of trouble making friends. I really struggled making friends because I wasn't used to, hey Faye, I wasn't used to being outside of my comfort zone. And I had to do that. I had to go out and talk to people, not just in class, but in the cafeteria or the caf. And I didn't want to eat by myself, but I had a roommate, Michaela. Freshman year, we stayed in Village West. 615B was my first room. I still cherish that room till this day. And then I ended up staying in Village twice because I was an RA on the 4th floor at the best residence ever, the Business LLC, 2018, 2019. I will forever love them. Those were my babies. How can I start getting more community service hours? So honestly, you just have to research the opportunities. Specifically at Florida A&M University, we have Fanny Info, which sends out emails almost every day, any time of the day. And they give you job opportunities. They have tons and tons and tons of volunteer opportunities. Even during homecoming week, you can volunteer to help with setup, cleanup, make sure everything runs smoothly. We used to have set cleanup every Friday for people who want to help with that. They also give off-campus volunteer opportunities. Make sure to check your local libraries, local schools. What I did to volunteer for 2.5 years was YMCA Reads, where I would tutor students and make sure that their reading levels improve for state testing. And I worked with first grade, second grade, and third grade, and it was an amazing experience. I would say my favorite thing to do when I volunteer is to work with children. I love children. I don't want to be a teacher, but I admire children because they're so pure. So when I give back, that's who I choose to give back to. My next question was, how do you overcome being nervous when it comes to public speaking? I started public speaking in 8th grade, so around the age of 13 or 14. So it never really, I still get nervous, but I just roll with the punches. I mean, it's life. It's okay. I think that's like the number one phobia besides like falling out of the sky. A lot of people are afraid to public speak. It's okay. Just breathe. I find a focal point to look at. And usually when I have to public speak, I have Mr. FAMU CJ right next to me. So, it runs pretty smooth. And usually I pray before I do things. That helps me. I give it to God because I cannot do anything without him. The next question was, how do you create genuine friendships with people? Okay. Hey, CJ. So one thing about me is I'm just going to be myself no matter what. I don't care who's around. Of course, there's a time and place to be professional, but I'm always going to be myself. So I use discernment, and genuine friendships come naturally. If you feel like it's forced, it's usually not a genuine friendship. A lot of my friends came from me living in the village my freshman year, and I was in the STEM LLC, and I just happened to study with those people. Those are the main people on my core campaign team. My freshman year, those same people were on my campaign team. My junior year when I ran for Miss FAMU, those people study with me till this day. Genuine friendships form naturally. You'll just watch, especially in college. You won't have to force a real friendship. It'll just come together naturally. The next question I got was, how do you join the Royal Court? So at Florida A&M University, we have an election process ran by the Electoral Commission, and what they'll do is they'll release the dates of campaign week. So you have your dead days and you have your days where you declare. So when you declare, you fill out this application, making sure everything's good to go. And then once you're cleared, you declare, hey sis, you declare your candidacy. And so that's when you give your speech in front of a large crowd and your spiel, and they get to see who's running. So then you don't have to do declaration. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But after that, you have dead days, which is when you don't do any campaign materials, like nothing. You can't do anything. You're just waiting for that Wednesday that campaign week starts. So after that, you have 7 days to campaign. You have that Wednesday till that following Tuesday, which is voting day. And if there's a runoff, then you have until that following Thursday. So my first race, I did have a runoff, but I campaigned to the freshman class. So the whole freshman class of FAMU 20 voted. Not everybody, but a lot of people voted. So I won the original race. And then I had a runoff against one of my really good friends, Sierra, who I love dearly. And I won that following Thursday. So basically, I was walking around, kind of giving my spiel about why I thought I would be the best candidate for Miss FAMU and Miss Sophomore. And then we had a pageant. So you have pageant practice after you campaign during those days, and as soon as you declare your candidacy. Now that was the hardest part for me because I can't dance, and you have an opening scene and you have to dance, and that's something I just cannot do. I've tried my whole life, I just cannot dance. Hey bestie, I can't dance. So the pageant is the hardest part about campaigning for me, but the actual talking to people, that was easy. Like walking up, hello, how are you? I'm Kyra. And the one thing about campaign week too is just being genuine. That came easy to me. Just talking to people, because I usually say hi to people when I'm on campus. So it's nothing just to stop them. Hey, I see you around. I'm doing this, and that. It was a great experience though. So that was my campaign experience. How are you able to study being a pre-med student and being Miss FAMU? Oh, thank you, Maya, for being proud of me. So, hey, Kai. So, it's hard. I usually study when I get free time at work. I study when I get home. Sometimes I'm really, really, really tired when I get home because some days I leave at like 9 in the morning and I don't get home till like 9 or 10 at night. So I have to really make sure that I'm focused and using my planner. That is the only way. The only way I can make it through is with my planner. Okay. Oh, I found out how to work this. Okay. It says Big Kai, Little Kai, my favorites. Thank you. Okay, so it says, what's your perspective on social media in regards to queendom? So I will say social media opens up the platform for people to express who they are and express themselves, but it can also be a platform for bullying. I don't think sometimes people realize that, yes, we're given this space to say whatever we want, but at the same time, you have to take into account how people feel about the comments you make. Now, not everyone's like that. Personally, I'm like that. Hey, Christelle. Personally, I try my best not to hurt people's feelings because I don't like when people hurt my feelings, so why would I do that to someone else? But social media can be a tool to help, but it also can hurt others, so we just have to be very careful how we use it. And as an HBCU queen and one of the larger HBCUs, lots of people tend to follow me, and sometimes people say some things that aren't necessarily the most appropriate, I'll say. Thanks, Jelly. But social media is a great tool. Like, we find jobs, all that good stuff. But at the same time, hey, Naveen. At the same time, it can hurt you. Like, when I was running for Miss FAMU, I don't know what I did, but the law school got your back. Yes, the law school was my friend when I was running for Miss FAMU. I had a great time down there. They were some of the nicest people, so professional. I just want to be like them when I get older, honestly. Not even older, like tomorrow. They were amazing. I love the law school. Social media is amazing. It has its cons and pros, but we just have to use it wisely, especially as college students, because we're up next in the workforce. Next question is, how did it feel to have Imani inform Miss FAMU as your ism? It was pretty cool. I thoroughly enjoy it. We have a lot of similarities. I actually met Imani because she was my orientation leader, and she was my RA in Village over this LLC. So that's when I met her. And when I won Miss Sophomore, that next year she won Miss FAMU, and then I won Miss FAMU. So it was like 3 years in a row, just us winning. And now she's into her career. So I was like, yeah, nothing like the Regal 48s. Hold on. People don't understand regardless. Yes, I am still a human, Amanda. A lot of people don't see that. I have my moments when, my feelings get hurt, but a lot of people don't understand. Yes, I have a pedestal, but I'm a human being. I'm a student. I'm trying to make it like everyone else. I want to be successful. And some people don't care, unfortunately, and it's okay. Not everybody's going to be your friend. My mom told me that as a little girl. Not everybody's going to like you, and it's okay. But, yeah, people do forget I'm human. I'm not Beyonce. Some people try to tell me that Beyonce has a problem. I didn't sign up to be Beyonce. Next question. Do you think that being Miss Sophomore aided you in being Miss FAMU? Yes, because I made the necessary connections. She was my RA and Orange and Green guy. Aww. Yes, being a sophomore allowed me to make a lot of the connections. It allowed me to meet a lot of different people too, that I campaigned to again. And being Miss Sophomore really opened my eyes to what the duties of Miss FAMU was. Because yes, I would see what she did, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see, like the service she does. A lot of people don't know Miss FAMU often travels to different schools. Oh, thank you, Hollywood. Hollywood was on the court with me too, y'all. We had a good time. A lot of people don't see that, and they don't see that the queens on the court, we depend on each other. Like, I wouldn't have made it without Hollywood, Marva, Danny, Serenity, Ari, Darian. I wouldn't have made it without all of them. We needed to grow some popping. Hollywood, you're hilarious. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed being a sophomore, and it definitely pushed me to be Miss FAMU with all my court sisters. Like, I love my sister queens. Hollywood was the life of the party. Marva kept us organized. You know, I was just happy to be there. I was just so happy to be there. So my next question is, what advice would you give a transfer student coming in that wants to get active on campus? Okay, this is coming from my bestie. Hey Marva. Okay, so I personally am not a transfer student, but what I will say is spread your wings. My sister making cereal, y'all. I'm sorry. But spread your wings. Yes, what Holly said, join TSA. That's a great organization. My escort on the Royal Court as my sophomore was a transfer student. His name is Deterius, so we call him DP. He got so acclimated to the campus. He was on the Royal Court within his first year, I think. I think his first year. Yeah. Be acquainted with the right people. Yes, it's okay to get out of your comfort zone. Talk to people. Talk to people. At FAMU, one thing about us, we gonna speak back. We're not rude. Go to the interest meetings for clubs. Like, one organization where I know we had a lot of transfer students was Women's Student Union. So many people would come to the meetings, and I made so many friends. Like, I was a debutante with one of my friends who's currently in Women's Student Union named Aaliyah, and she transferred, and now she knows so many people because she was joining organizations, meeting people, volunteering, and get out of your room. Don't let people make you feel like you're not a real rattler. Yes, if you go to FAMU, you're a real rattler, whether you start from freshman year, not dual enrolled, you're not a college student yet. Whether you start from freshman year or you transfer, you are a rattler. As soon as you're enrolled at that school, you're a part of our family, and don't let people tell you that you're not. Join BBLB. I guess. Y'all, Nehemiah said join BBLB. I guess, y'all. My next question is, what would be your most important advice for freshmen? One, don't stay in your room all the time. It's okay to be shy because we all have our shy moments. I have mine sometimes, even though I'm Miss FAMU. Talk to your RA. My residents, I couldn't think of the word. My residents, hey Nick. My residents have my phone number. Now, granted, should I have done that? Probably not, because they were calling me all through the night. But join organizations, join things that can help you professionally. Hey, Morgan. Y'all, my sister. Hey, Morgan. This is not your live talking about some listening. Join organizations that can help you professionally, academically, and socially. I see some people join organizations just because they think there might be fun, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. You need to have fun. This will be the most time you'll have. This will be the most fun time in your life. But make sure that you're growing in those organizations. And I tell people your freshman year, your fall semester, if you don't want to join anything, I understand because you're trying to get acclimated to the campus. But by spring or your sophomore year, try to get out there and spread your wings, because you're never going to grow unless you're uncomfortable, and you need to make those right connections. And some of my best friends I met joining the Women's Student Union. Nakia Grant, we're like this now, and we were both on the e-board for Women's Student Union last year. She supported me with everything. I support her with everything. Why we meet? Huh? Sir, who are you? Oh, sorry, y'all. Next question. How'd you get to be so bad? My line sister. God, my mom, my dad, the baddest, all them. Advice on choosing a major. So, sometimes it's okay to change your major if you figure out that you're in school and you find something that you really, really, really want to do, and you know that it's going to bring you happiness, because whatever you do in life to make money, my dad always tells me, choose what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, you will make money doing what you do no matter what. So if you feel like you love science and you're good at math, go be that pre-medicine major if you want to be a doctor. If you think you'll be the best engineer and you're passionate about engineering, do so. But if you find that you are miserable and it's making you unhappy, I would say talk to your advisor. talk to a mentor, talk to a counselor. I call my mom for everything. I called her. I talked about choosing my major starting probably within my 10th grade year. My major changed a few times before I got to FAMU, y'all. It was all over the place. My mom had to get me together. But choose something that you're passionate about. That was my mama speaking. Choose something that you're passionate about. It's okay at the end if you feel like, wow, maybe this isn't something I necessarily like. It's okay to do some research and find something that you really like. I had to do that quite a few times. And my mom can tell you every day I'm asking her questions about doing this and doing that. Next question. You're a superwoman, no cap. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be. I struggle sometimes, but I try to be. Okay, advice to students thinking about leaving school and going home. Okay, so I actually had some friends who did leave FAMU, but they went to another school, and it's okay to do that. You know, every school isn't for everybody, you know. It's okay. That's just a part of life. But I say if you're having second thoughts about going home, maybe stick it out a little bit. Just to see if you truly need to go home. But if you feel that in your heart and you know that you no longer desire to stay somewhere, it's okay to leave. One thing I don't believe in is doing anything that will truly make me miserable or unhappy. Okay, I have more questions. How was election season for you? Girl, it was tough. The hardest part about election season is leading up to it. The actual week itself, there were some bumpy roads, but it was smooth. The pageant was actually my favorite part because it was Beyonce themed, and my campaign theme was Beyonce themed, and I love Beyonce. Like, I love that woman. She is amazing. But election season leading up was really hard. The family shade room was coming for me every day. I was calling my mom like, Mom, why do these people keep talking about me? But it's just what comes with the territory. But election season was fun. I made some lifelong friends. I met some people that I had never met before, and it was a great experience, and I'm so thankful. My mom told me to tell y'all she helped. Mom, I was going to get to that. You didn't even let me get to that. My mom ran my campaign. She took off of work to come help me campaign. She had all the snacks, y'all. We had honey buns, chips, Starburst. We had personalized cookies with my name on it. We had popcorn with my picture on it. It was crazy. And we had like different table designs every day. We went big, but I had to give her shout out. I thoroughly enjoyed campaign season. Would I do it again? No, I'm not running for anything else. Ever again in my life. Ever. What are some effective campaign strategies? Be yourself. Make sure you're secure in and know what you want to do. Be able to explain your platform. Be organized. Yes, she is the queen's mother. Be organized. My mom organized everything because when you're running a campaign, you cannot be your own campaign manager. I'm sorry, it's nearly impossible. Now, there are some people who can, but I can't. My campaign was huge. I was trying to campaign to 10,000 students, and I had to actually even go to a law school to campaign. My mom and aunt dropped me off food for me and left. You know why my mom was so passionate? It's because I was involved in high school. I played volleyball, but I didn't do a lot of what I do now. So my mom was very proud. So what's up? So that's why she was very involved, and I appreciate it because I couldn't have done it without her. I have another question. Isn't it funny how it all worked out? Yes, it is. It's very funny. We done came a long way. How do you balance the pressures of being in the spotlight? So I'm in the spotlight 24/7. Let me tell y'all how I went to McDonald's to get some french fries. And the girl was like, hey, Miss FAMU. I was 6 hours away from Tallahassee. it catches me off guard. You know, sometimes I want to go to Walmart in my sweatpants and t-shirt, but I cannot do that. Now, will I have on a full face of makeup? No, but I always have to be presentable because people will stop me wherever I'm at and ask for a picture. I promise you, I was doing something, and it wasn't important. I was minding my business, and I had to stop and take a picture. And I looked a little rough. That picture didn't make the internet, but I looked a little rough. Do you think it is important to have a big budget even at a school such as FAMU? No, you don't have to have a big budget because your campaign goes off of who you are as a person. People will never forget what you said. People will forget what you said, but they won't forget how you made them feel. So your campaign budget, yeah, it's nice to give out things if you can, but it's not necessary. Be yourself, you know. If you have a budget of $100, make that $100 work. You don't need everything. My mom actually has a friend who ran for Miss Freshman Attendant, and she said she just had a really nice suit and some flyers. She said her flyers were even in black and white, and she just walked out there and campaigned, and she won. And I think she ran against like 17 people. This was back in the 90s, though. She ran against like 17 people, and she won just being herself. And she said her flyers were black and white. It's not about budget. It's just about who you are. How are you able to do the Royal Court? So, again, I ran the spring of my freshman year, and then I ran the spring of my junior year, and I campaigned to the students. When I ran freshman year, I only campaigned to the freshman class. When I ran my junior year, I campaigned to the whole school. How did you come up with your theme? I did not come up with my theme. The theme I had originally I thought was so great, and then I stopped liking it. So my friends, Marseille Johnson and Raven Riggins, they were like, Kyra, what about Beyonce? And I was like, oh, when I tell y'all we love Beyonce, we sing Beyonce for no reason. For no reason. We just always sing Beyonce. So they was like, what about On the Run 2? And I was like, On the Run to 113. Boom. That was my campaign theme. They came up with it. I give them all credit because I would never came up with that if it weren't for them at all. Okay, more questions. With all your obligations and roles on campus, do you still find time to decompress and self-care? So how? Okay, so when I do self-care, I don't do anything. When I tell you nothing, I don't do anything. I'll get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, eat, then get back in the bed. When I self-care, that's why when people say, oh, I never see you out when you're not being Miss FAMU, because I'm tired. So I'll stay home, mind my business, stay in the bed, eat snacks. I tell all my friends, I'm not leaving this house today. So with self-care, I usually do it maybe once a week because I have so much to do during the week. So I'll take a day, usually Saturday or Sunday after church, and I'll just sit in my bed and wallow around. Sometimes I'll play in makeup. I'm still trying to learn how to do my makeup, and I'll listen to sermons. I'll listen to music. I'll go on YouTube and watch because I'm tired. Yes, girl, I'll be tired, but I can do it though. And I just take care of myself, you know. I had a problem with not doing that, and I started losing weight, and I don't weigh a lot. I'm very slim, so I had to find a way to balance. And I noticed it because people kept asking me if I was losing weight on purpose, and I got scared. So that's when I had to learn to self-care, and it's so important. What is the best advice you would give to a freshman trying to join organizations and get acclimated on campus? Okay, so once again, find something that you like. Find something that's going to help you grow professionally, academically, and socially. Find something that aligns with your core values and morals as a person. Now, don't just go out there joining everything, and then you get in there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a cult. Because it doesn't align with who you are. So do your research. I tell everybody, do your research with what you do, what you want to do. That's about it. Do your research because you want to do something that you like at the end of the day, but that's also going to help you and that you can help. How did you manage studying and running for Royal Court? Jesus Christ. That's how I did it. Actually, I have a planner in my mom. My mom is my human planner, and then I have my written planner. You can ask all my friends. I have this black bag that I carry my computer and my planner in, and I've had that bag since freshman year, and I cannot leave the house without my planner. Like, I have to have it. I cannot function without it. So my planner managed my studying time. After practice or whatever I had to go on, I'd cross out everything and make sure I did it for the day. That big bag. Yes, Nakia, my bag is huge. It's called Old Faithful. It's, y'all, if only y'all know about that bag. Let's see. How do I balance and measure my time? My planner, my mom, my friends. And some days I really don't want to manage my time, but I can afford to do that. Let's see. I'm a young rattler. Do you have any advice to help keep a balance of work and fun on the hill? Your planner, that's your friend. Keep it on you. Just saying, hey Antonio, how you doing? How can I start doing my community service hours? If you're a high school student, I would suggest talking to your guidance counselor. Talk to your teachers. They always have something going on. Your guidance counselor can literally help you get those hours. My mom helped me, but that's because she's really involved in the community. She does everything. If you're a FAMU student, check FAMU info. The Office of Student Activities is always sending out volunteer opportunities, homecoming, graduation, off campus, on campus. There's always something going on. Thank you, Xavier. Okay, so with running campaigns at small schools, I wouldn't really know because FAMU is a larger HBCU, so I guess it can be different because it's more intimate. But yeah, that question, I'm actually not too sure on. Let's see. What some of the study habits that I have. So one thing, I encourage everyone to go to the library if you can. Personally, I used to go to the library freshman year and sophomore year. Junior year, I couldn't afford to go to the library because I was always working. So I wouldn't have time to go to the library and I wouldn't make it. So what I would start doing was studying in the community rooms that we had in the village where I worked. So I would study there. Coleman is actually a very good place to study at the library. You can go to the third floor. It's very quiet. They have individual study rooms on the first floor. You could also go to the public library. Very nice environment. You can go to Starbucks. You can go to any place that's quiet, making sure you're reading your material before you go to class and after. That helps a lot. Note cards. What's that thing called? Quizlet can be good for you. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm just a person who I read and write my notes and it tends to stick, but not everything that works for me works for everyone else. How can I make hooping for FAMU, but also make being in the 100 work? That's a question I do not know the answer to because I did not play a sport at FAMU and I was not in the Marching 100. But I can redirect you to someone who can. How do you think being Greek plays into the election race? It is an advantage. Does being Greek? No, being Greek does not win an election race. I've seen people who are Greek lose before. I've seen people who are Greek win before. It just all depends on who you are as a person. Letters don't make you. You make the letters. And just because you're in a sorority or fraternity does not mean you're going to win. It's just a matter of life. Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. It's just about who people think you are as a person, not the letters you wear or the colors you represent. Let's see. How did you know you wanted to be Miss FAMU? So I didn't know I wanted to be Miss FAMU at first. I figured out I wanted to be Miss FAMU my sophomore year. My roommate, Z, hey, she was like, Kyra, I think you should run for Miss FAMU. And I was like, girl, nah, what you talking about? And then someone else, my friend, Bam, he is a drum major now in the Marching 100. He was like, I was walking to my car, and he was like, Kyra, you need a ride? I was like, no, it's okay. He was like, Kyra, it's late. Let me give you a ride. And I was like, okay. So I get in the car. I'm talking to him and our other friend, Jeremy. And he's like, it's just one thing I need for you. I was like, what? He said, you got to run for Miss FAMU. And I was like, no, like, stop telling me to do this. And I knew God was telling me to do it, but I was just like, nah, I'm gonna chill out. So then somebody else told me to run for Miss FAMU. Oh, thank you, sis. Someone else told me to run for Miss FAMU. And then lo and behold, I told my mama, and she was like, we're going to do this. And she was on me every day after that until I told her I wanted to run for Miss FAMU. When I tell you every day, she was like, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. But it was worth it because I won thanks to her. What are your goals? So my first goal is to get into grad school. I will let y'all know where I'm going when I get in. Yes, girl, look at me now. Whew. Hey, Kay. What is another goal of mine? To give back to the community wherever I end up. I know I want to be a doctor. Now, do I know what type of doctor I want to be quite yet? No, it's looking more like a PhD right now, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I also want to be able to take care of my mother because she has given me everything that I could possibly think of, from a car to shelter to clothes to everything. And she has taken care of me, so that's something else. I want to be a mentor and a role model for young girls. That's my passion, helping children. Again, I do not want to be an educator. Let's do the PhD program together. Girl. Because I can't do it alone. Child, it's gonna be some work. But yeah, just to give back to my mom and my grandmother. Hey, Tanika. Hey, y'all. What's a good studying method for you? So I read before class. I try to read before class. I read after class. I ask a lot of questions. Like, my teachers, I know they're sick of me because I go to office hours. I saw my teacher I would talk to him every day. Look, I need help. Please help me. It was biochemistry, actually, and it was really hard. Y'all, biochemistry was trying to take me out, but I made it. Hi, but yes. Talking to my teacher was a good study habit because I would go to their office and we would do problems all the time. I did that for physics too. Physics did not come easy to me at some times, but it was easy for the most part, but I always had to ask questions. Bless your heart with biochem tried to take me out, y'all, but I was fighting hard. Let's see. How do you balance all the clubs and orgs you're in with your major? My planner, again, my mom helping me, making sure to ask if I need help. One thing too, as Miss FAMU and being in these organizations, you have to delegate. So if you try to take everything on as yourself or by yourself, it's not going to work. It won't work for me, I should say. I cannot be everywhere at all times, especially being a student, being in several organizations and working and having a social life. It's just not going to work. And at one point I was going into overload and not being able to handle it all. But by the grace of God, I got it together because my mom said, you got to graduate on time. Let's see. I have more questions. I answered that already. Where do I see myself in 10 years? So, in 10 years, I see myself being successful. I will have my doctorate degree by then. I will, by 2029, I will be Dr. Freeman. I see myself as a mentor for Black girls, a liaison for the Black community. I don't want to be in the spotlight, but everyone who tells me, they say I'm going to have a public figure life, I really don't want that. But if it happens, it's God's choice. So I'm just out here, doing the Lord's work. Let's see. What was one of the most challenging things during your campaign? Dealing with the pressure of people trying to paint me as a bad person. I have the problem with people will see me And I'm not always smiling, I can admit that, and they'll assume I'm a very mean, harsh person. But sometimes it's just how I look, like just a natural face. And I try to smile. I've been working on it, but I have a natural mug, people like to say. So I have to smile a lot, so people thought I was mean. So that was hard. And just, I was physically tired in my campaign because I have to wake up early. Destiny, my makeup artist, would come over early and do my face every day. And y'all, she did my face every single day. And she did such a good job. And we'd do my hair, and she'd give me a pep talk. Miami girls have that natural look. Girl, my mama got it too. And she's like, where you get that from? You. But just keep the spirit to keep going. That was one of the hardest parts, because anything worth having will not be easy. And it was a struggle. It's a struggle sometimes now being Miss FAMU, but by God's grace, favor, and mercy, I'm able to do it. Let's see. Do you believe in Greek unity at FAMU? I think that can be accomplished. You just have to have people who want it to be accomplished. Just because you wear certain letters or wear certain colors does not mean that you can't be friends with other people. We are all Black professionals trying to serve the community and make the Black community look amazing. So there's no reason why it cannot be achieved. It's very much so possible. How has my reign been? So my reign has been pretty good. I've had so many opportunities. I've been in Essence. I've been on BET on their BET Plus. They just got me waving. I was on BET Plus. I'm gonna tell everyone that. I've been on BET's website, HLN/CNN. I got the opportunity to meet Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. I've gotten so many opportunities. I got to meet students from all over the world, all over the country, and that's what it's all about, the students. It's been amazing. It's been busy. I was not busy like this before when I was on the road. I've done so much in the past 3-4 months. It's ridiculous. I've traveled to New Orleans, met some really amazing people. I got to go to the NASAP conference, met so many people there. That I still keep in contact to this day. So it's been an amazing reign. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Can I leave this live up? I surely can. Let's see. I have more questions coming in. Let's see. So, how do I set boundaries as a student leader? How do I limit my availability? So, as a student leader, at one point, I could not get on Instagram during the week because it was so overwhelming. Like, people were always asking me to do things, and I just could not function. I couldn't get my work done in a timely manner. It was getting done, but I was stressed out because I had so much to do. So one thing I started doing was, if someone texted me after 8 o'clock, it would wait till the next day. Like, I have a life as a person too. Making sure that people knew I was a student first. So if I couldn't do something, I'd be like, I'm so sorry, but unfortunately I cannot do it, but I'll make it to whatever's next. Because there were some days where I was putting other things up for myself. So I had to make sure that they knew I was a student first, and that I would get to what I could, not let everything overwhelm me. And how do I limit my availability? It's just a matter of just planning everything out and just saying no when I can't do it. So what is my definition of wealth and success? Wealth personally is generational, I believe. Success is whatever you make it. If you want to open a hot dog stand and that's your life goal and you do that, you're successful in your own eyes. I don't measure anyone else's success. Personally, to me, being successful is being able to live comfortably without having to live paycheck to paycheck. Being able to take care of my loved ones just as they have taken care of me, specifically my parents, my mommy. She's amazing. So, hey Kai, how do you keep your image together on social media as well as in the public? I just joined. Oh, you're fine. So, my mom always told me as a child, be careful what you put on the internet because it will come back. And I'm glad I listened to her. Just making sure to be professional at all times when I'm on the internet. Of course, I want to join in the laughs when everyone's having fun. But I can't always. I can laugh to myself. But making sure that I represent the university. My page is no longer my page. As I'm Miss FAMU, my image belongs to Florida A&M, unfortunately. And it's what I signed up for, so I don't mind. So making sure that, because Dr. Robinson follows me, so, he sees everything I post and do. So just making sure that anything I post, they wouldn't mind reposting on their public page. So that's how I keep that in check. What's your advice to underdog candidates in election races? Go out there and fight. Like, you're not the fight till the end. It's not over until the end. I personally believe at some points in the race that I felt like I was the underdog, but I fought to the end, and God granted me with one of my desires, and I'm so thankful. But fight until the end. But to me, it's okay to be the underdog. The underdog wins. Okay, have you been like this since freshman year or started when you started campaigning? Freshman year? I don't think my page was as professional or it didn't represent anyone but myself my freshman year, so I don't think it was how it is now. Would you say the pressures on image for student leaders is unfair? Unfortunately, I do think it is unfair because there are some times where people want me to end world hunger in a country, and unfortunately, I don't have the resources to do that. But what I can do is direct them to the people that can do that. But being a student leader is not for the weary or the weak. It is hard work, and I thoroughly enjoy it. But people look up to us as superhumans, and we have superpowers, and unfortunately we don't. But we try our best to get stuff done. And not everything that we do get done, we post. That was my biggest problem. A lot of people thought I didn't do anything. Like, they thought I didn't do anything. But a lot of the things that I did, I didn't want to show people because I felt like if I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart, that I didn't have to show people. Now, sometimes, every once in a while, I'll show, hey, y'all, I did this, and I just want to share it with you. But, people always believe if you're not posting something, then you're not doing it. And a lot of times we do a lot as students, but we're in a generation and age where people just feel like they have to see it or you didn't do it. What do you believe your purpose is? My purpose is to help people. That's all I know. I just listened to a sermon on that today, and it was just saying, listen for God's calling, listen to his voice. So that's what I'm doing now. My purpose is going to find me, but my passion is helping people, specifically with mental health. Specifically with children. So I know my purpose will be with helping children and somewhere with mental health. I know that's probably where I'll end up being. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do in life, but I know that's what it may be. Let's see, do I have any more questions? What are the pros and cons of college life? The pros, you're free. Like, this is the time where you can spread your wings, see what you don't like. Cons, sometime in college you will be broke, and that is so unfortunate, but it's true. You will not have the money you want, and it's okay because you can have so much fun on a low budget. Another pro is you're making some lifelong connections, you're building your professional self, you're learning who you are. You're really getting to know yourself. In college, I really got to figure out who I was, and I'm still learning because I'm still young, but that's one of the pros of college. Cons, being broke. We are broke at some point in college. It's inevitable. You're going to be broke at some time, but it's okay. Let's see. Okay, I saw those. Name the flyest person I know from Jacksonville is Tariq, my best friend. You're welcome, Tariq. Let's see. Have you ever gone through college depression? Yes. Oh my goodness. sophomore year was a rough year. I went to the counseling center. Great job, great resource. I prayed, talked to God. But the counseling center was my best friend. I talked to my friends, and it's okay to not always be your best self. It's okay to not always be okay. I'm not always okay, and a lot of people think that I am all the time, and I'm not. But depression is real. Take care of yourself, because if you don't, you'll see yourself in a dark place. And don't let anyone make you feel bad about not being okay. We all have our moments. What church do you attend in Tallahassee? I go to New Mount Zion AME Church on Old Bainbridge Road with Pastor Elwood. Great church. I go to the 11:30 service or the 9:30, 9 o'clock. I'd be late to that service sometimes, y'all. I go to those because I cannot wake up for the 7:30 service. It's not going to happen. Another question just popped up. Where is it? Where is it? I think I lost it. Oh, I think that's it. Oh, do you watch Transformation Church on YouTube? I do. And I watch Elevation Church. I listen to a lot of podcasts. So I started with Transformation Church, and then I moved to Elevation Church. But yeah, I watch those on YouTube, or I listen to the podcast on my phone. I listened to one this morning, actually, while I was laying in the bed being lazy. And that's how I got my morning started. Sometimes when I'm driving, I'll listen to them to start my day off. It just depends on how I feel that morning. But I usually listen to one of those or a gospel song. Okay. I think that's it. Any other questions? All right, y'all. It's been amazing having y'all here. I hope y'all have a great break, great evening. If you have any other questions, feel free to DM me. But yeah, have a great evening.